My name's Stephen Hale, and I'm here to talk to you about the Global Masters, Graduate Diploma and Graduate Certificate in the Economics of Sustainability, which we at Modern Money Lab have designed in partnership with Torrens University Australia. Just to give you a high-level overview, we've been working on this for well over a year, but in September 2022, Modern Money Lab and Torrens University will collaborate to launch a unique contribution to global economics education. Unique in the sense that, as far as we know, no such program as this, which covers both ecological economics and modern monetary theory, currently exists anywhere in the world. So it is genuinely a global first. The program will include courses ranging from graduate certificate to doctoral level. Actually, the taught courses will be a master's degree with a graduate diploma and a graduate certificate sitting within that master's degree to allow you exit points in case you want a training in ecological economics and MMT, but don't want to go all the way to a master's, as we'll see in a moment. As it says in the bottom left-hand corner of the slide, the university will offer a suite of online postgraduate courses in the economics of sustainability based on modern monetary theory and ecological economics, designed by us at Modern Money Lab. Why modern monetary theory? If I'm known for anything, I'm known as an MMT economist. The last 25 years has seen the emergence of modern monetary theory as an approach to economics and public finance, which has proved to be the first serious challenge to mainstream or neoclassical macroeconomics in at least 70 years. If we are to plan for and to execute a successful transition to a sustainable and just future economy, this is going to require policymakers, advisors, activists, and the broader community to understand and make use of the insights provided by modern monetary theory. Why ecological economics, if that isn't obvious? A training in ecological economics provides you with an understanding of the relationship between human economies and the ecosphere, or the natural environment. It's an essential part of the toolkit of a 21st century economist at a time when societies urgently need to transition away from a focus on gross domestic product growth for its own sake towards the pursuit of human and planetary well-being, respecting the principles of ecological sustainability. In other words, we need very rapidly to adjust to the fact that we live on a finite planet and that you can't have infinite growth in the impact of human activities on the natural environment on what is a finite planet. We're not respecting the principles of ecological sustainability at the moment, and we need to move within our planetary boundaries very soon if we are to maintain a healthy and stable environment in the future. As I've already said, there are, as far as we're aware, no postgraduate courses where people can combine modern monetary theory with sustainability. Indeed, you could say the same thing for undergraduate courses, but this is a postgraduate program. Our venture then is a unique offering meeting a clear need. What will students learn throughout the course? The economics of planning for a world with limited ecological resources and dealing with what is, at least to an extent, an inevitable process of climate change now, and a realistic understanding of the mechanics of modern monetary systems and their implications for policymakers and decision makers more generally when dealing with the economics of planning for a sustainable future. Here is the set of qualifications where you can see the nesting. If you complete 4 subjects, and we'll have a look at what those subjects involve in a moment, you'll graduate with the graduate certificate in the economics of sustainability, and many people might want to do just that. If you add a further 4 subjects, then you'll qualify for the graduate diploma. If you complete 12 subjects on our program, then you'll have completed the master's degree in the economics of sustainability of Torrens University Australia, and you'll be in a position, should you choose to do so, to engage in further study, which would be at least 3 years full-time equivalent, if you wish to carry out doctoral research and qualify for a PhD. So here's the duration of the course again. The graduate certificate is a minimum of 1 trimester full-time equivalent. That is very full-time study. It involves doing 4 subjects across a trimester. Many people would find 3 subjects a full-time load. Most people, I imagine, doing the qualification will be part-time students, and so will take 1 or 2 subjects per trimester. If you take 2 subjects at a go, then it's going to take you 2 trimesters to qualify with your graduate certificate. And the graduate diploma involves twice as much study as the graduate certificate, and not surprisingly, the master's degree involves 3 times as much study, and in principle could be completed within a calendar year full time, but that would be a very full-time year of study. The delivery is 100% online. The workload is 10 hours per week for each subject in a 12-week trimester, and 3 hours of that will involve either watching lecture videos by people like myself or engaging in online seminars. If you can't get to those seminars live, they'll be recorded as well. But we'll endeavour to offer the seminars at least twice every week in each subject to cater for different time zones. The details of the course. Entry requirements. Torrens University Graduate Certificate entry requirements specify successful completion of a degree recognised in Australia as a bachelor's degree. That's what AQF, the Australian Qualifications Framework Level 7 means, in any discipline. However, applicants without formal qualifications are eligible to apply if they have 7 years of professional, administrative or managerial work experience, and applications will be assessed by Torrens University on a case-by-case basis. Of course, if you qualify for the graduate certificate, you effectively qualify for the graduate diploma and master's degree, because if you complete the graduate certificate, then you are already halfway through the graduate diploma. The pricing will be approximately 3,300 Australian dollars per subject initially. And unlike, I believe, all Australian universities, we will not be charging a premium fee to international students. International students and Australian domestic students will be having the same learning experience and paying the same fee, albeit that Australian students may qualify for fee help support from the Australian Commonwealth Government. Here are the subjects. We're only going to have 2 subjects available to people starting in September. So we are looking at people starting in September on a part-time basis. The 2 foundation subjects, Foundations of Real-World Economics and Foundations of Modern Money, Institutions and Markets. There will be 4 subjects we're planning to be added to the subjects that are available in the first trimester of 2023. That's starting in February 2023, and you can see them listed there. A further 4 subjects we are planning to have available in May 2023, in the second trimester of 2023, and the final 2 subjects, and these final 2 subjects are only available to people taking the master's degree. They're not part of the graduate certificate or graduate diploma, will be available in trimester 3 2023, which is September next year, September 2023. On the right-hand side, you can see the people that are writing those subjects. To those of you with a background in ecological economics, you'll certainly recognize the name of Phil Lawn. Those of you with a background in modern monetary theory, you'll recognize, well, you might or might not recognize my name, but you'll recognize Scott Fulweiler on there and Dirk Entz. And the other people you can see on there are people that I have worked with over many years or known for many years, who I know are excellent in the subjects that we're asking them to write for us. This is a truly global set of academics we have here. We've got people writing for us in Germany, elsewhere in Europe, and in the US too. Why are we doing this, finally? In most economics degrees, the mechanics of the monetary system is either ignored or misrepresented. Biasing policy debates. That's where we get austerity. It's where we get governments talking about aiming for balancing their budget over time or running budget surpluses without any consideration of the impact of that on private sector balance sheets. And it's where we have central banks raising interest rates to try and deal with rising inflationary pressures, even when that may be inappropriate, particularly where those inflationary pressures come from the supply side of the economy. But worse than that, there are no subjects offered at all in most universities in ecological economics or the economics of climate change. And even environmental economics is often just an elective, something you might do in the second or third year of your degree, and something which many people won't study at all when they are graduating with an economics degree. But environmental economics, it sits within mainstream economics, and it treats, for example, climate change as something that you ought to be able to fix if you just taxed carbon emissions and got that right. The idea is that the economy would adjust and continue to be able to grow indefinitely over time if you've only priced the social costs of carbon emissions correctly to allow for a reallocation of resources to take those costs into account. So environmental economics asks no fundamental questions about sustainability. Particularly, it does not ask the question about whether limitless economic growth is feasible on a limited, on a finite planet without our biosphere deteriorating over time. So even in 2022, ecological economics and modern monetary theory are seriously neglected or completely ignored in the majority of economics degrees around the world. And this needs to change. The economics of the 20th century is simply inadequate to deal with the economic challenges that we face in the 21st century. So why am I doing this? Why is the Chief Executive Officer of Modern Money Lab, Gabrielle Bond, doing this? And why are our colleagues doing this? Because in your life, something has to matter for you beyond your bank balance. So I've given up what was a secure job in order to work on this project. And I'm not the only person to have done that. Something has to matter for you beyond your bank balance or your daily concerns. And for us, this is that something. If we are to deal with the greatest challenges that our species has ever had to deal with, which is how I see climate change and ecological sustainability over the next century, the challenge of actually improving the quality of people's lives while defending the sustainability, the health of the environment within which they're living. We cannot do this with the mainstream economics of the 1980s and 90s. We need a new economics to deal with what are fresh challenges, or what are challenges at least that we've ignored up until now, much to our detriment. So that's why we're doing this, and we'd be very glad to welcome you onto this program. We'd be delighted to see you going beyond the program to make your own contribution as an ecologically trained and MMT trained economist in government, in the private sector, in a not-for-profit, in academia, to push for a just transition, not just for your national economy, but for the global economy over the next generation. We believe this to be vitally important. So we're going to love what we do, to use a term that Torrens University Australia attaches to its course offerings. And we're delighted to partner with Torrens University Australia to offer you this suite of courses. And we'd love to welcome you onto the courses.